Trying to organize a closet that is overflowing with clothes and not knowing where to start with decluttering is one of the main complaints we get from clients. I recently did a declutter of my own closet using one simple question that made the process simple, painless, and fast. Today, I'm taking you with me as I do my semi-annual closet declutter. I'm gonna share the 8 things that I decluttered, and I'm gonna share a simple reflection that you can implement starting today. So one of the first steps I take when I'm doing this full wardrobe seasonal switchover and declutter, which I do twice a year, fall and spring, is that I bring up my off-season clothes. I keep them in my luggage and I keep them in my basement, which is actually handy right now because I'm sort of in a phase of life where we're not really traveling a lot. So I don't really need this luggage for anything else. So I did a quick once over of everything that was in there, and I put some items instantly like into my try-on pile and some things that I knew I instantly loved, and they just got added back into my closet for this fall and winter. I also keep my like formal or special event clothes in there. For example, I have a t-shirt in there that I use once a year for a charity event. I also keep my nylons in there because that's something I'm not using every day anymore. I'm really only using a couple or 3 times a year for special events. And one of the things that was in there was this adorable little skirt. I would wear it to work in the office, and I absolutely loved it. But ever since I turned 40, it just feels like a little bit too short. I have worn it, but I've just not been 100% comfortable in it. And who wants to feel uncomfortable in their clothes? Life is just too short. So I asked myself one simple question. Would I pay to move this? If I was moving tomorrow, would I pay to move this skirt as part of the move? Paying for boxes and movers can be pretty pricey, and the more items you own, the more expensive it is. So I decided I would not pay to move this skirt, and it was the first thing added to my declutter pile. I actually have an old Instagram post that sort of relates to this. I'm gonna see if I can find it and put it on the screen. But it basically says something like to only keep clothes that, shorts that make you feel like you wish summer lasted forever, or anything that makes you feel like 10 out of 10. So if you have anything that doesn't fall into these categories, then maybe it's worth asking yourself, is it worth paying to move? Next up is an item that I think a lot of people can relate to. This past January, I did a photo shoot for new professional photos for my website and social media and stuff like that. And anyone who's ever gotten professional photos taken, even if it's family photos, you know that getting the right wardrobe can be time consuming and it requires a lot of planning and thought, and you want to make sure you get it just right. When I went shopping, it included 2 dress shirts. So there was this pink one. It's just like a very classic dress shirt, collar, long sleeve. And I also had a white one as well. And when I got back from the photo shoot, I just hung both of the shirts into my closet to kind of add to my wardrobe. However, that was in January and this is October, so 10 months. I don't think I've worn them one time. Maybe the white shirt one time, maybe. But day to day, I am just more of like a tank top, sweater kind of girl, which means there would be zero reason for me to pay to move this item, which is why this is number 2 added to my declutter pile for today. However, I do have to admit that I did keep the white one. I struggled so hard with this, but I just thought, if I ever need it for a meeting or like a special or a conference or anything like that I'm going to, it would be it's such a classic. It's such a handy little shirt to have. So I didn't put it in my closet, but I didn't put it into my off season or special occasion clothing. In 6 months, I might change my mind and get rid of it. But as of right now, I did keep the white one. The next one actually falls into a similar category as the shirts I just showed. Last year, I did a volunteer role for a local organization, and it required going to quite a few meetings and being in the office and wearing more professional clothes, which I really didn't have anymore because I'm not in the office anymore. So I did pick up a few classic simple pieces, and one of the things was this t-shirt. It's just a very classic, I think it's the Gap, it's Old Navy. It's just a classic striped t-shirt that looked great underneath a little blazer, and it was really comfortable. And again, after I done my volunteering role, I kept the shirt because I'm it's pretty classic. I just kind of threw it in with my wardrobe and figured I'd probably wear it. However, I have never worn it, and it's been over a year. And I did try it on to make sure, and it's just not 100% comfortable. I don't like the length of it. It's okay, but I just know I have other ones I like more. And so I decided that I am decluttering this shirt today because there is no reason for me to pay to move it. If I do need something for underneath a blazer, I know I have other tank tops I can use. Like I said, this is similar to the dress shirts in that we often tend to find ourselves buying items that are for a one-time ordeal, like a one-time special occasion or a one-time meeting or a one-time event. And then we just toss them back in our wardrobe and we sort of like avoid purging them, I find, and then they end up just becoming clutter. In this case, asking that question of whether I'd pay to move it helped a ton, because as soon as I did, I knew it was a quick no. If you are doing like a big closet purge, you can even write this question on like a piece of paper and just stick it to your wall where you're working, just so you constantly has it like a reminder for something to reflect on while you're working. Okay, next up I have 3 items, all that sort of fall under the same umbrella as each other. Last month, Scott and I went away for 2 nights for our anniversary. It was so lovely. It was a lovely little getaway. And as part of it, we went and did some shopping. So we rarely get to shop without the kids. So it was nice to just have this one time where we could like try on as many things as we wanted. We could take our own time. You know, it's just having that freedom just felt so good. And I actually took a specific list with me of items that I knew I wanted or needed. And one of the things was a pair of shorts. I had 2 pairs of like black kind of sport running shorts that I had this past summer, and I loved having 2 pair. I wore them a ton. It was really hot this summer, so it felt so good to have them. However, of the 2 pairs I had, one of them was just kind of weird. So this was one of the pairs I had, and they had this weird sort of like meshy fabric along the bottom hem along all of them, and the waistband was just like a bit wonky, so I knew I wanted to find a pair I loved even more and replace them. So this was a pretty easy decision. Would I pay to move a pair of shorts that I've already replaced with new ones? Obviously not, absolutely not. So this is item number 4 added to my declutter pile, a pair of old black sport shorts. The other thing that was on my like shopping list was a tank top. I ended up finding this pink one, which doesn't look like anything special. It's just, again, it's also probably Old Navy. Yeah, it is. But I love this like really pale pink color, and I loved the back of it. It has this like eraser back. Anyway, I just personally really love it. It doesn't look special to anyone else. And so when I got home and I had this new tank top, I knew that there were old tank tops that I just didn't need anymore. So I decided on this sort of like pinky purpley one, which I had kept basically as a tank top to use like a backup workout tank top. However, I went all summer doing sweaty runs and sweaty workouts, and I maybe wore this one time. It's just not my favorite color, basically. I think I probably bought it in a pinch when I was really looking for tank tops, but I know I will never wear it now because I have an extra one, so I can let it go. Same with this black one, but I had it so long, it's really kind of stained and really like kind of faded, like deodorant stains all along here. So I'm not actually even gonna donate this one. I'm just gonna cut it up and we'll use it for rags in the garage. So 2 tank tops and a pair of shorts that have been replaced and could go. I actually bought a ton of sweaters as well, like cozy winter sweaters. And so when I took out my old stuff, I tried on a bunch of my sweaters thinking that I would get rid of some of my old ones with ones I loved more. However, I really still loved all of them. So I decided to keep them for now. And then once I get deeper into the winter, I'll do like another round and kind of review. And I think it'll be easy to figure out, which ones I'm wearing all the time. Those are obviously my favorites. I can let 1 or 2 go. The next item actually took me like a minute to fully decide on. After I finished reviewing my seasonal bin and my drawers, I went and looked at everything that was hanging in my closet, and that included my jeans. And I think I had 4 pair total, 2 black pair and 2 blue pair, and I like them all. However, one of the pairs of black jeans were just really faded looking. They were just really worn out, really faded, and they just honestly just didn't look good on anymore. So this is item number 7 that I'm getting rid of today, is a pair of old black jeans. Surprisingly, this one actually took me a minute to fully decide on because they are so comfortable and they fit me perfectly. So sort of sad to let them go. However, I think what happened was, I think last year I saw like a picture of myself wearing them or like a video clip or something. I'm like, oh gosh, those look so just worn out and faded. So I just knew there was no reason, again, to pay to move them. Next up is an item you guys totally called me out on. So I shared a video a few months back, I think, about sharing like how much we own of certain categories in our home. And one of those categories was purses. And I specifically shared this like kind of party purse, I call it. So like my special occasion purse that I've had for quite a while. And I got quite a few comments basically asking me like, do I actually use this purse and how terrible it looks and how I should just get rid of it? But guys, I actually did use this purse. Like I think the day after I recorded that video, we went away for like a day trip and I took this with me and I used it all day. However, once I was using it that day and I was reading all of your comments, I'm like, you know what, you guys are right. This thing is just like crumbling. It was like shedding that day. The little pieces of fabric were coming off. So some of you might be happy to know that item number 8 that I'm getting rid of today is my little black party purse. Not only would I not pay to move it, but honestly, I should not even have this in my bedroom. Normally, I wouldn't get rid of something until I've actually replaced it. However, I know there's a bunch on Facebook Marketplace that I know I love and I've seen posted regularly, so I know I'll be able to grab one when I do actually need it for my next like special event. Okay, have you guys ever tried this approach at home? Do you feel like this question might work for you? Is it worth a shot? One of the YouTube channels I follow, I think it's Tiffany Beeston, and one thing she often talks about is how the state of her closet is like a reflection of the state of her mental state. Like when her closet is organized and clutter-free, then her mind also feels, organized and clutter-free. And I think about this all the time and how having this space, the space that we access every single day, multiple times per day, having it feel like peace rather than chaos can have such a major impact on our well-being. And it doesn't mean you have to do a huge overhaul. Maybe just choosing 8 items that you wouldn't pay to move could improve the function and feel of your closet and your wardrobe. I hope this video has inspired you. And if you are looking for a boost on your own decluttering journey, I recently added a decluttering guide to my website, which I will link in the description box below if you want to check it out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.